And Joe, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. And we're moving to the major conversation for this morning. The Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, once renowned for its relative tranquility and security, has been gripped by a growing sense of fear and unease as cases of kidnapping continue to surge. Residents are now living in constant anxiety, demanding immediate action from authorities to restore safety and protect their lives and property. This was the case when residents of Day Town, located off Kubwa Road under Buhari Area Council in Abuja, were thrown into shock at the weekend following the abduction of over 23 residents of the community, mostly taken from 3 housing estates in the area. As if this was not enough, barely 48 hours after the aforementioned kidnappers' attack at Day was also 2 children alongside 9 adults were whisked away at Bope village behind Eco Estate along Airport Road in Abuja. At the same period, a similar incident took place where unknown gunmen invaded the residence of a family in the Buhari area of Abuja and shot 3 police officers before kidnapping the 5 sisters and their father. One of the sisters, identified as Nabiha, a university student, was reportedly killed by the abductors on Friday night after the family failed to pay a ransom of 50 million naira. A relative who has been involved in rescue efforts said the kidnappers have handed over Nabiha's body to the family. The abductors warned that they would kill the rest of the siblings if the ransom, which they have increased to 100 million naira, is not paid by Wednesday. To have this conversation with us is Dr. Dayo Kayode. He's a political technocrat and social analyst. Good morning, Dr. D. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning. How are you today? Comments of the season.
Okay, let's take a look at the rising case of kidnappings and insecurity in the nation's capital. It did rock the entire nation last week and over the weekend, and even, into the week that is currently on. And there were other cases of kidnappings actually that were made it to the media within the same frame of time, but of course outside Abuja, and it has continued to rise. What is your take on this situation?
Yes, thank you for involving me in this discourse this morning. You see, over the time, I have honestly taken my time to study the various types of insecurity that we are having in this country. And I have tried to put them under 3 different titles. Because before you can solve a problem, you must first of all understand the character of such a problem. You must understand the nature of such a problem, while you must also understand the features of such a problem. And that's why I now characterize the insecurity we are having generally in this country to number 1, terrorism, number 2, kidnapping, and number 3, marauding. When you look at insecurity trajectory in Nigeria, you're going to see that marauding, like that of riots, that of cultism, that of demonstration, are be happening, and to a very large extent, it could be normal, like all these religious and ethnic fighting there and there. Those can be classified under marauding. When you now look at terrorism as it is coming in this country, terrorism has been the one characterized with sacking villagers and sending them to IDPs, burning their houses. And why are they doing that? It is for them to be able to exploit the natural resources that we are having in such locations. And that's why it's very incessant in Zamfara, the northeast, and co. You know. Now, coming to kidnapping here. Kidnapping have been happening before now, though not too common. But people have not even been using it to ask for ransom in the past until recently. And this now takes us to pre 2014 running to 2015 elections, whereby we had some people. Now it's not about personality now, no political party. Do you understand? But what has been happening generally, we have some people talking about, yes, we made the country ungovernable for you. And along the line, we had about one particular group that was asking one particular government official to keep quiet. That if he doesn't keep quiet, they will spill the beans as regards how insecurity in this country got escalated. I think we're all aware of that. We're also aware those people that were being put in Kuje prison, how people went there to go and release them. And nothing happened. We're also aware about herds of bandits that were being given chieftaincy title in somewhere in a Borno state. So where am I driving at with this? The insecurity in this country, the major part of insecurity in this country can be laid on the laps of our leaders, especially political leaders. Look at that of Abuja. I was reading a commentary whereby somebody said that kidnapping in Abuja now is to embarrass Wike. Why is Wike to be embarrassed? Why? It is those in Yoruba, they always say this, only top, Lori Apata, I will interpret because of Josh. It is a thief that will be able to trace the footprints of another thief on the rock. So, where am I going is this? Not until when our political leaders have made up their mind to stop this nonsense in this country, I bet you it will keep on to abate. It will continue. Because how can people? I was reading again yesterday about a kidnapper. And these people that always traffic small girls across to Europe. That was struck down in Niger Republic. Why asking for ransom? I mean, he was not asking for ransom. He was going with some girls. And one was now able to make a call. And when that call was made, the guy was caught. They removed the film and all that, but they still trace them. And those girls were now free. So, if we are ready, if our political leaders are ready, are willing, we will solve this problem.
All right. Now, let's take it further, especially from where you dropped off. In your earlier submission, you talked about the fact that terrorism, when it comes to insecurity, especially dating back before 2014 has been linked to marauding. But of course, what we're seeing right now is becoming more of a grander scale, especially looking at it from the angle of it being brought to the doorstep of the state capital. I'm talking about Abuja right now. And as we speak, the police, whose responsibility it is to be able to make sure that the lives and property of the residents in Abuja is protected, has rather left its core, obligation to start chasing after popular rhetorics like no gree for anybody this year. What would you say about that? And of course, at a time like this, that's another question I'm going to throw at you. At a time like this, in saner climes, what do you think that the president, who is the commander of chief of the armed forces, should do at this time?
The number one question I too will throw at you is this. How responsible and how responsive are our so-called leaders are to emerging issues within the polity? History has shown that their level, their response and responsibility index is zero. It's zero. Are we seeing Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the acclaimed president of Nigeria, coming out to address Nigerians as regards what is happening in Federal Capital Territory? For that matter, not to talk of Inspector General of Police that also resides there. Not to talk of Chief of Army Staff that also resides there. No, to what extent have they been able to respond to this? Within that small Abuja there, and maybe few people are now terrorizing them, and you cannot apprehend such. Then I will see repeat what the coach of Amampo of CNN and that of Abuja, Sonny Abuja, say when a particular sovereign is facing insurgents within his political enclave and cannot solve such within 48 hours, believe it, such a leader is an accomplice. I once gave you an example. Adayo Studio. If your equipment are getting missing every day and nothing is being done, nobody is being apprehended, or your MD or your chairman is saying or is looking away from it, believe it, he or she is an accomplice.
Are you saying that this is a state-sponsored terrorism from your analysis?
Well, you can call it what you want.
No, say it with your chest. Are you saying this is state-sponsored?
It depends on how you look at it. It depends on how you look at it. They are nothing other than politically and economically motivated insecurity. Not political and economic. The one being sponsored economically are those people that are stealing our natural resources. The one politically are just to withdraw each other.
So at this point,
yes.
If you see it from that angle of being political and of course economic, should the president, by virtue of the powers of the legislature, call for his impeachment, considering the lives that has been lost?
Well, because of the place we are, the country we are. By now, it's supposed to have even resigned before being impeached. By now, it's supposed to have resigned. Look at series of stealing that are also going on. Look at series of stealing that are going on under his nose, under his watch. What do you expect? When somebody can say, listen, don't go to my path because I don't want to suffer irreparable loss. So what does that portend? What do you expect? What do you expect?
All right, Dr. D, let's take a look at the policing efforts and, the point of intelligence gathering. The social media has been agog since this incident happened over through last week and over the weekend. And, there's been certain tweets from the end of the police that has, raised a lot of dust. People didn't seem to be comfortable with the approach and the manner of speech that the police representative chose to use. But that being said, how do you react to the policing efforts towards this whole banditry and kidnapping that has taken a rise since last week? As a matter of fact, other schools of thought believe this incident should be getting more attention than it is. It is barely on the media. It is barely on the news. No formal or official statements from security agencies. Nobody's actually making any official statement, both from the office of the presidency, from the security apparatus, security agencies. Till now, a young girl, barely 15 years old, has lost her life. There is threats that other people might be unalived if ransoms are not paid as at when due. How do you react to the point of policing and intelligence gathering as regards this case?
Yes, even at this point, let me quickly acknowledge, because I wouldn't even know his relationship with the family. What former minister Pantami did, I learned he has given 50 million as regards the ransom that those bandits are asking for. Now, let us go back to your question as regards intelligence gathering and policing within our territorial integrity. You see, there is no gainsaying in not saying that our police are not bereft of ideas as regards when it comes to intelligence gathering. They are super. When you see them going for operations outside the country, you see them coming back with winners, accolades. Even some countries always ask them to stay by and help them. But when they come back to Nigeria, you see them shining away from their expertise and sophistication. Why? Because if we break the piper, we stay the tune. They don't go beyond what they have been asked to do. They don't do that. They can't do that. As they be removed, they are under the apron, rules and caprices of the political leaders, of the economic leaders. And those are the ones that will tell them, don't go beyond this area. Tell me who is saying our police cannot arrest the leader of the bandits that came to, I think, Borno State or so to receive Chief title with almost 300 members of his people. And there you are having, according to that story and the picture, we are having police chiefs, security chiefs, and that Obani. Who is telling you that our security agents cannot apprehend those ones that went to get prison last year or upper year to go and free some banks there? Who is telling that we cannot be apprehended? Well, they might have been given instructions to stay away. To stay away. Because shortly before that, we were hearing some kind of exchange of their captured members and they kidnapped the Nigerians. We were hearing it.
Okay, doctor, based on what you just said now, the police is saddled with the responsibility and you believe they can handle it given the fact that when they travel abroad, they come home with medals. So the issue right about now is the motivation, if I would say. But then, all right, if you say the will, fine, but what would you talk about? I said, yes, if you say the will is not there, fine, that is accepted. But looking at it on the other side of the coin, talking about ransom, what is the danger, especially given the fact that Issa Pantami, as you allege, also gave out a sum of 50 million as a ransom? What would you say is the danger Nigerians now taking the part of the government to be able to ransom their relative or loved one from the hands of these kidnappers when the responsibility saddled on the government should be that of taking care and, of course, protecting the lives of Nigerians? What would you say as regards the danger?
The danger has always been there and will continue to be there because those people that brought in this initially, these kidnappers initially to the country as mercenaries, they cannot return them anyhow. They cannot apprehend them anyhow. They have to. I've been saying this. Those people responsible.
Who are those people? Who are those people? Who are those people?
There are a lot of these politicians that have been talking about it now. A lot of these politicians. This is late on their. I said initially that can lay insecurity point in this country on the laps of the politicians. On the laps of the politicians. And I've been saying it. And I continue to say it. And they have to come out and apologize to Nigeria. And then let us now join hands together and face this problem scarcely, once and for all. And they're not the ones that always give people guns, knives, and all that during political campaigns.
So what is the danger in paying ransom as a Nigerian? What is the danger now in we paying ransom?
Dr. D, because of time, we're having to round up now. But of course, this last question by my colleague is very important. I would like to get your thoughts on it. A GoFundMe, a crowdfundMe account was created to help raise the ransoms for these siblings that were kidnapped in Abuja. And some people have, tackled it, saying it shouldn't be. If we start creating crowdfundMe accounts for ransom payments, particularly, then it will be a way of enabling these bandits and kidnappers. Do you agree with that school of thought?
Yes, that's good. Some years back, when this thing started rearing its head, and this issue of ransom payment came up, I said it clearly that yes, my condolences to those that their families have been kidnapped. But if we allow these ransom payments to continue, without fishing out these people, then at the end of the day, the way it will grow, will not be able to handle it. And I gave the Yoruba proverb that time. After láti kékeré láti máa ń pẹ̀ka àrókò tó bá dàgbà tán apá ò ní ká. That is, this local tree, it is while it's growing that you have to keep on controlling the branches, the spread of the branches. Because you don't do that early enough, by the time it's fully grown, you'll not be able to handle it. And that is exactly what we are facing now.
All right.
That's exactly what we are facing now.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. D, for your submissions this morning. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, it is still iBrand Daybreak. We also would like to take this opportunity to say that opinions and voices shared on this program are strictly the opinions and perspectives of the analyst and does not reflect the opinion and perspective of iBrand TV and our presenters. iBrand Daybreak, when we return from this quick timeout, we will bring you more information. Stay with us.